The Lost Prophet was a horrifying and unsettling old man who lurked deep out in the dark mountains of a remote mid-rim world. He muttered snippets of nonsensical phrases, and some even believed he could see the future. This was no ordinary man, however. He was a fallen clone trooper of the Republic who had hit his head and gone crazy. How did this happen? Let's find out. Before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed to join the Star Force, and let's get into the video. The man who soon became known as the Lost Prophet was originally a clone trooper who served as a fighter pilot in the Grand Army of the Republic when it still existed. In the dying days of the Clone Wars, the trooper likely got himself into heavy separatist fire and unfortunately crash-landed his ARC 170 starfighter hard on the desert world of Dumai. Because of the crash, the unlucky clone trooper suffered horrible head injuries which scrambled his brain and sent him into crazed rambling spree, which never ended. He would utter small snippets of his training from Kamino, including his conditioning and flash training by the Kaminoan scientists. Flash training was the technique the Kaminoan scientists used to train the clone troopers with the necessary battlefield knowledge in a very short period of time. The method uses holographic flashes to instruct young clones during their growth period, allowing a trooper to accumulate years of knowledge and skills in a much shorter period of time simply by flashing battle scenarios into their eyes and brains. And since the Lost Prophet never got a clone trooper nickname, we have to do him the honor. Tell me in the comments what you think this brave soldier's nickname should be, since I'm sure he would not be too happy with the name Lost Prophet. After his crash, the trooper traversed the desert planet in his crazed state until he eventually found a dark cave. He took refuge in this dark cave and rarely ever emerged, mostly only for when he needed food or water. By this point, years had passed since the end of the Clone Wars and visitors had started to come by his cave, taking notice of his crazed ramblings. The onlookers saw his incoherent ravings and believed they were psychic powers manifesting within the old cave dweller. Because of this, the people of Dumai soon gave him the name the Lost Prophet, and a small religion was even formed around his psychotic ramblings. Pilgrims from across the planet and probably across the entire mid-rim soon started to visit him, asking for advice and asking to see into their futures. In response, the crazy clone simply repeated phrases from his military programming, which seemed to be vague enough to give the people the answers they were looking for. This went on for years and years, with thousands likely taking this clone trooper's words as real prophecy. Many years later, around 15 years following the fall of Palpatine at the Battle of Endor, a young journalist came across the Lost Prophet's cave and paid him a visit. This journalist happened to be a young woman named Sindel Tawani. This is the same girl who appears in the Caravan of Courage special if you have the pleasure of seeing that. What Sindel discovered upon visiting the crazy trooper was that he was in fact a clone trooper who hit his head and was spitting out his pre-programmed training. Sindel revealed this to the people of Dumai and shattered his image as an all-knowing prophet among the people. This probably killed the religion which formed around him completely and likely left him as a sad, crazed old clone trooper forever alone in his dark cave. Nobody would visit him ever again after realizing that he was just a soldier from a bygone era. So that is the sad story of the Lost Prophet, the clone trooper who went crazy and became a godlike figure. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe and tell me in the comments if you're part of the Star Force. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.